Thanks for tuning in to the This Is Metal Show 2024 recap. This year has been really a great year for us. We've had a lot of different stars on there that you guys may know as bands and musicians and so forth. And we have some upcoming events that are going to be happening in 2025. As you can see on screen, these are a lot of the bands we interviewed. So be sure to check out our website at the thisismetalshow.com or find us on YouTube at the This Is Metal Show and Fire Rock channels. Now, here are a few clips from our different bands that we interviewed. There's some highlights, not a complete list, and we will see you in 2025 with a entirely new lineup of people we will interview. Until then, have a great year.
Ken and I could do a cover of Leather and Lace and sing it,
together. We're gonna do it out on a beach on an island.
Yeah, very romantic. Very romantic.
Everything. Well, first of all, everything is live instruments. There's no drum tracks. There's nothing like that.
I was shocked. I said, he kept saying, you got to write a book. I go, well, why don't you work with me on the book? But then we decided that Russia being the time difference and the language barrier, even though I spoke English, we decided not a good idea.
He was like, wow, that's a cool idea, and let's talk about it. It took a while to start feeling better, but we finally talked about it. Gordon and I put it together and threw it out to the guys, and they did their part, and I think we got a home run out of it.
Yeah, he was really good with people. I mean, I can only honestly say one time he wasn't super friendly to somebody, but I mean, and thousands of engagements, always just really, really cordial and just really appreciating everybody. He was really good that way.
It was really hard. I got pretty choked up in the dressing room before the show because, we clear the dressing room and we do, we kind of have a little ritual that we do, as probably a lot of bands do before the show, and we all get together and sometimes we'll have a shot of whiskey.
Ronnie was a blast. And joining the Dead Daisies was similar to joining Ronnie. When I joined Ronnie's band, it was so funny, man. He was looking for a guitar player. He had already asked me to join the band in 1990, but I couldn't leave my band I was in.
That song came from an album called this is Howlin' Wolf's Electric album. He didn't like it at first, but he didn't like his electric guitar at first either, something like that. And Jeff Beck gave me the album, and he said, if you listen to this album, you see the template for Led Zeppelin on this album. So the kind of drum sound and a lot of the stuff that was in there. And Jeff Beck himself took some stuff. So I loved Cactus. I mean, I loved Evil.
I was going down, and everything started changing in Hollywood. They had a new mayor in town, and he cleaned up the strip. He wouldn't let people flyer, and the whole scene started changing. Even Gene Lane said it great in his interviews that they were all over their label, and then one day he walks in, it was Alice in Chains or something, the next band, and everything started changing. But at that time, we just got a deal, so we still went out and toured. And for a little while after that, and got a record out and stuff. But then
Midas Cove. It's a suspense thriller. Been working on it for quite a while because COVID shut us down for a little while, but now we're back up and going. But it's about small town corruption, tragic loss, and it's about woman empowerment also. And we have a unbelievable cast. I can't believe I was that lucky to get who I got.
But not really. I mean, I grew up in a musical family. My father was a musician. And one day, the deal was that as I got older, he needed a drummer. And he's like, I think now it's time for you to join the band and be a part of this thing. And one day he just said to me, hey, I want you to sing some songs. I said, okay, I guess I could try it.
I'm in a orange Rocker Verb 100, Marshall cabs. I was a huge Zakk Wylde fan. So when he put those Mode 4, 412 cabs out, I always liked those. So I'm running those. And I've always been a Gibson player, but lately I'm digging the ES335s, so everything that you guys are hearing is going to be on the ES335s. They're perfect. That setup is really working well for me.
Again, growing up with my favorite artists, it was always guitar, drums, bass, and vocals is a great rock and roll song. So, I try to make that my foundation. As I kind of grew up and, got into my 20s and mid 20s, and I tried to be more open, especially with my age group was always into hip hop and pop. And I was always kind of like, man, I wish that I got to experience like the 80s and the heyday of like the rock and roll being the top of the thing.
We're still coming down off the high from
Yes.
from coming back from M3. We played this past Sunday on day 2 of M3, and it was just an amazing set we pulled off, and of course, being there with a lot of our friends and the other bands, it was just an amazing weekend. Made lots of friends.
So I was opening for the mighty NZM. I was playing in a different band called Requiem, actually with our now drummer, Kevin.
I didn't know that.
Was the drummer, yeah.
Oh, God.
So we were opening for the mighty Nick Z Marino band, and
he was 19 years old at the time.
Maybe or
practice space here, and then section by section, then put a song together, and then go over it, and we're like, oh, let's try something else here. Maybe a halftime feel in the verse, maybe a double time feel in the second verse, stuff like that, and we'll just literally all jam together. Yeah. So it's interesting because a lot of bands, like a lot of times they'll write something, send it over email, and then somebody will come up with a part. We live all close to each other, so I'm 10 minutes away from.
There's a lot of great content, and we worked so hard on this, and thank you team for this, because Leith and Tom, and thank you guys, because it was a process, and we wanted something to put out that would look great, that would be reminiscent of Christmas past, also the metal Christmas vibe, right, which this video definitely has. And of course, if you see the one part in here with the snowman, it's like an epic battle of the snowman and the reindeer. It's really cool. And again, we wanted to take just a basic scene of a deer grazing next to a snowman, and then it just turns into an epic battle with a skeleton and like a demon, and that was really cool.
Yeah, that's the held hostage sound. That's what I tell people. We can go out and we want to sound like the record. We put our records out so we sound like our record. I can't stand seeing a band and going, wow, they don't even sound anything like the record. We want to sound as good or better. And that was recorded, like it's through a camera. That's not tracked. That's just through a camera, one track camera. So that's what you hear when you come see us live.
Reaction is, wow, somebody actually did some cool video of a really cool song. Like I said, it's kind of the thing to do today, because, I'm not necessarily saying it's easy, but it's just something that's really hip and cool today to do. And, you put that kind of imagery with the music, and people are interested and they like it. They dig that, because my wife really thought it was great.
Yeah. Basically, it's just like a little observation of the time we are living in, with surrounded with the mainstream media and social media. It's like too much and influencing our thoughts and basically our way of living. It's kind of too much, if you compare with the innocent day before, in the 80s and 90s, it's like everybody's like basically, in some kind of control of the social media and the information.